Welcome to lesson number 28, Survey Methods in Research for the students of MCOM second semester Research Methodology subject. I am your teacher, Dr. K.V. Somnath, JS College of Commerce, Vartha, Maharashtra. Today we will go for the learning of the survey methods in research. In the earlier lesson, we learned about the fundamental concepts of survey. Now we will pay our concentration towards the learning of the survey methods. The survey methodology studies the in-depth sampling of individual units from a population and administering data collection techniques on that sample. It includes the instruments or the processes that ask different question types to a predefined sample to conduct data collection and increase the survey response rate. The two distinctive member types are professionals in the field that focus on empirical survey errors and others that work to design surveys and reduce them. The primary task of an admin while deploying a survey is to identify and create samples, validate test questions, select the mode to administer questions, and verify data collection methods, statistical analysis, and data reporting. The survey methods are based on different aspects. Let us first discuss about the survey methods based on design. The research studies shows that there are a few survey methods based on the research design. Let us take one by one. The first one is cross-sectional studies. The cross-sectional study is a observational research type that analyzes data of variables collected at one given point of time across a sample population or a predefined subset. This study type is also known as cross-sectional analysis or transfer study or prevalence study. The data gathered in a cross-sectional study is from people who are similar in all variables except the one under study. This variable remains constant throughout the cross-sectional study. The second one is longitudinal studies. The longitudinal study is an observational study employing continuous or repeated measures to follow a particular individual over a prolonged period, often years or decades. The longitudinal research collects data that is either qualitative or quantitative. In a longitudinal study, respondents are under observation over a period ranging from months to decades to observe any changes in them or their attitude. For example, a researcher wants to find out which disease affects young boys in the age group of 10 to 15. Then the researcher will observe the individuals over a period of long time to collect meaningful data. The next one is correlational studies. The correlation study is a non-experimental type of research design where two distinct variables are studied. The statistical analysis helps to examine the relationship between these variables without the inference of external variables. This study aims to understand the change and level of change in one of the two variables in the study if the other variable changes. For example, if an ice cream truck has a jingle that can be loudly heard, people start to understand which ice cream truck is in the neighborhood and how far it is from the person's location. Means there is a connectivity between the jingle and the ice cream. The survey methods based on the distribution. This is another way. First one is they are based on design. Now it is based on the distribution. How the distribution of sample is there and how the distribution of questionnaire is there, how the survey is being distributed among the target population or the sample respondents. So there are some different ways of survey distribution. Some of the most commonly used methods are: number one, email. Sending out an email is the easiest way of conducting a survey in the present scenario. The respondents are targeted and there is a higher chance of response due to the respondents already knowing about your brand. You can use the Question Pro email management feature to send out and collect responses. The second one is by respondents. Buying a sample helps achieve a lot of the response criteria because the people who are being asked to respond have signed up to do so. The qualifying criteria for the research study are met. The third one is embedded on the website. Embedding a survey on the site ensures that the number of responses is very high Embedding a survey can be done while the person enters the website or is exiting it. A non-intrusive method of collecting feedback is essential to achieve a higher number of responses. The responses received are also honest due to the top brand recall value, and the answers are quick to collect and analyze due to them being in a digital format. Next one is post to the social network. Posting on social network is another effective way receiving responses. The survey is published as a link on social media, and people that follow the brand can be the set of audiences or respondents. There is no upper cap on the number of survey responses required, and it is the earliest, easiest and the fastest way of eliciting the responses. The next one is QR code. Question Pro QR codes store the URL for the survey. You can print or publish this code in magazines, on signs, business cards, or on just about any object or medium. Users with a camera phone equipped with this correct reader application can scan the QR code and image to open the survey in the phone browser. This is very common we are observing at present now in the COVID-19 pandemic. Next one is Question Pro app. The Question Pro app allows to circulate surveys quickly, and the responses can be collected both online and offline. Next one is API. You can use the API integration of the Question Pro platform for potential respondents to take your survey. Next one is SMS, short message services. Using SMS surveys are another quick way to collect feedback. This method can be used in quick responses, and when the survey is simple, straightforward, and not too long, this method is used to increase the open and response rate of collecting feedback. The best example for is most of the times our the SIM card providers like Jio, Airtel or Vodafone or BSNL, they used to send us one SMS asking us to respond to that yes or no. So automatically when you respond to that, the immediate survey is being collected by the particular company. Apart from that, now so many companies are sending you some series of questions in the SMS format or in the WhatsApp format. When once the message is being opened up and the answers are being attended and responded, immediately that feedback will be sent to the company who has generated this message, and the response is being noted down. Most of the Google Forms what we conduct for the surveys or for dissemination of information from the respondent or the field to the particular concern, so they are all coming under the SMS surveys. The survey data collection methods. Online surveys. Online surveys have now become the most widely used survey data collection method. There is a wide variety of advanced and straightforward question types that are available in online surveys. The data collection and data analysis are now structured and easy to manage. The survey response online is very high compared to other research options. The second one is telephone survey. The telephone survey are a cheaper method than face-to-face surveys and less time consuming also. Contacting respondents via the telephonic medium requires less effort and human resources. Still, the survey response rate could be debatable as respondents are very trusting to give out information on the call. In the survey data collection method, the researcher also has less scope to digress from the survey flow. Next one is face-to-face. The face-to-face surveys are one of the most widely used methods of survey data collection. The survey response rate in this survey data collection method is always higher because the respondent trusts the researcher since it is in person. Individually, the respondent is being contacted by the surveyor or the enumerator or by the researcher. The survey design is in this research method is planned well in advance, but there is no scope to digress to collecting in-depth data. Most of the time it may not be possible, even though there is a personal interaction. The next one is paper or print survey. The least used survey data collection method that is now being used mostly in the field research is paper surveys. Researchers and organizations are moving away from using this method since they are logistically tough to manage and tough to analyze. These can be used where laptops, computers and tablets cannot go, and hence they use the age-old method of data collection, that is pen and paper method. Now the survey data analysis. After collection of the data, it is to be analyzed. When you conduct a survey, you must have access to its analytics. While manual surveys based on pen and paper or Excel sheets require the additional workforce to be analyzed by experienced data analysis, it becomes much simpler when using an online survey platform. The statistical analysis can be conducted on this survey data to make sense of all the data that has been collected. There are multiple methods of survey data analysis, mostly for what is quantitative data. Most of the commonly used types are cross-tabulation is one of the most advanced statistical analysis tools that use a basic tabulation framework to make sense of data. Raw survey data can be daunted, but structuring that data into a table helps draw parallels between different research parameters. It involves data that is mutually exclusive to each other. The next one is trend analysis. This provides the ability to look at the survey data over a long period. This method of statistical analysis of survey data helps plot aggregated response data over time, which helps to conclude the change in the respondent perception over the time. The next one is max differential analysis. It is a research technique to help understand customer preferences across multiple parameters. For example, a product's pricing, features, marketing, etc. become the basis for max difference analysis. In a simplistic form, this method is also called as best worst method. This method is similar to conjoint analysis, but it is much easier to implement. The next one is conjoint analysis. It is an advanced statistical research method that aims to understand the choices a person makes in selecting a product or service. This method offers in-depth insights into what is vital to a customer and what parameters sway their purchasing decisions. The next one is TURF analysis. TURF full form, total unduplicated reach and frequency analysis. What is that? T for total, U for unduplicated, R for reach and frequency analysis is the statistical research methodology that assesses the total market reach of a product or service over a mix of both. This method is widely used by organizations to understand at what frequency is their messaging reaching the audiences, and if that needs tweaking, TURF analysis is widely used to formulate and measure the success of go-to-market strategies. The next one is gap analysis. This is used a side-by-side matrix question type that helps regulate the difference between expected performance and the actual performance. There will be always a gap between the expectation and the actual performance. This statistical method for survey data helps understand what has to move production from practical to planned performance. The next one is SWOT analysis. That's mostly the management students and the commerce students knows this. The SWOT analysis, another widely used statistical way, organizes survey into a data that represents strength, weakness, opportunity and threats of an organization or product or service that provides a holistic picture about competition. This method helps to create effective business studies. This is mostly used in case studies. The next one is text analysis. It is an advanced statistical method where intelligent tools make the sense of and quantify or fashion qualitative and open-ended data into easily understandable data. This method applied to unstructured data. Most of the times the artificial intelligence is used in this case. I hope you might have gone through the entire lesson in a sincere manner and you might have understood. I request once again all of you to go through as many times as possible through this entire lesson, and also refer the earlier lessons also in order to have a more qualitative and way of logical way of understanding the entire lesson. Till then, stay safe and stay protected. Thank you all of you. All the best.